Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Jacobs now. He finds an opening past the 40. That one good for 26 and a first down. The Raiders last year, they were 25th in the league in rushing, and a good reason why they used one of their 3 first-round picks on Jacobs for runs like we just saw. Jacobs was the first running back taken in this year's draft, 24th overall. That was actually the pick that was originally acquired from the Chicago Bears. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Carr, and his pass incomplete. The tight end Luke Wilson was the target, and it's 3rd down. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this. It's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL, but I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And some room to work. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Jalen Richard, 37 yards. As his guys are in. Able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Eagles heading back out, and you think about their backfield, Charles, it's going to be interesting to see how things go here in the rest of preseason and into the regular season. You got Jordan Howard, who you picked up from Chicago, still just 24, twice a 1,000-yard rusher, but there's a litany of other options, are there not?
They are absolutely loaded at the running back position.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of late.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 30, 10, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, 73 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. It's a short kick, taken near the 18. Brushing off defenders. Touchdown, Eagles. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And coming off a 1-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Well, officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Well, Wilson gives Oakland a veteran option at tight end. Remember, they had Jared Cook last year. He's now in New Orleans. But Wilson, 5 years in Seattle, then 1 in Detroit before the native of Windsor, Canada, signed with Oakland back in March. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 7-yard line. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 7-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Carr now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson there to make the grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit.
Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 60 yards. As his guys are back within a single score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Elliott good on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, like
through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10, 5, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
On first down, Howard. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's the big fellas in. Right there, running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
On second down now. It's Jacobs. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Gets through, and now an opening. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 20-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big. Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, rolling the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing, and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays, you have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
On 2nd and goal, Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson, as the first half is winding down, and the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 9-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one.
I'm with you totally. I would say.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time remaining for likely one final play. You're on your side of the field, but, yeah, heck, maybe you throw one up 50-plus yards, see what happens.
Don't forget that taking the knee is the right play to make because you just get out of there, you regroup, you start over. But if you're going to take the shot, you do have a chance of either making the play happen or picking up a deep pass interference call. And remember, it's the NFL. You get yardage. It's not just a 15-yard play. You could have something big here. Let's see if they take the shot.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half. One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They run on 2nd down with Adams. A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. We don't want this.
On play action, it's Wentz. And hauled in here by Richard Rodgers. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Richard Rodgers, 57 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Space to maneuver at the 40. The 40. The 30. Past the 20. 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, 75 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there for Philly. 58 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's. That's exactly what they did there.
Got him in open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles get a score closer. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 65 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, 74 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. It's complete to Grant. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles get a score closer. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Richard, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown one play later. About that.
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
But that is certainly... Not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he fends him off, shakes off the sand, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Credit the sack there to Arden Key.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And now running right through it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Well, a clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. Well, kind of interesting for sure. It worked out for them. They only had a yard to go. You know, when you do that fake punt, you're kind of starting back further than you need to when you only have 1 yard.
Yeah, and I guess they felt like that was a true full fake because most of the time with a yard to go, you leave your offense on the field, you run something from your playbook. But here, they gave the full impression they were going to punt it away and picked up the first down. They definitely surprised us.
I was going to say surprise, surprise. On 2nd down, Richard. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. They still can't get it. Whoosh. Fights through, and now a crease. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defense.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wheel. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they take on last year's #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the upstart Cleveland Browns.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carson Wentz getting ready to roll here. His 4th year now in the NFL. Got that nice 4-year, $128 million extension back in June and seems to be over the back and knee problems that have plagued him, knock on wood. And he plans, Charles, to ditch the knee brace this year. He could be primed for a big season.
And I think that head coach Doug Peterson and staff will continue to work with him on how he runs the football, taking less chances, because a lot of the times, and Carson told me this a couple years ago, I sometimes forget and try and do it like a running back. Not a good idea for your franchise quarterback. Get down and stay healthy. But the big thing I've seen in camp and keep hearing about, the rapport he's developing with Deshaun Jackson. Because he's back in Philadelphia, a home run hit threat at wide receiver. Never established that rapport with Jameis Winston in Tampa. If he does it with Carson Wentz in Philadelphia, look out.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Going to look deep for Jeffrey. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Wentz to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Back deep for the Browns, Antonio Callaway. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
In your face.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Set. 20. 51. So don't say nothing.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
A run for Nick Chubb. A 2nd broken tackle. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 41 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Now Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety, Morgan Burnett, that time gets home for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they have possession. And They have it at the 38-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the carry, it's Chubb fighting through. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On the ground, it's Chubb. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
He's got the 1st down inside the 10. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Well, they're making a real 1st quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script play.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Demarius Randall.
Interception, baby.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Chubb. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got... find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the 1st half.
Here's Mayfield. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning. And he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington. But they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
I don't know what you were seeing on that play, but it felt to me like I wasn't watching a football field. I was watching a boxing ring. He was bobbing and weaving and trying to make sure he kept the play alive. Just didn't turn out well for him in the end, did it?
Impressive that he stayed in the pocket while avoiding those couple of would-be tacklers, but eventually goes down. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On play action, Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jannard Avery providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Give them an even 20 yards there on the pickup as a fake punt fooled everybody. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. fans a reminder. I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Will I be okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. To throw, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Fourth down, and on is Greg Joseph for the Browns field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get the field goal rate. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Automatic first down.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Mayfield to throw it. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Check.
From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
4th down, Mayfield. Over the middle to Beckham. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run with Sanders. He finds an opening past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 27 yards there, a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, 48 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it'll bring up third down.
Set. 180. Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Bang it. Bang it.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. And they're indeed going. It's Mayfield. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. On first down, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. You think back to the 2016 draft where Carson Wentz was taken number 2 by Philadelphia, but that was originally the spot that belonged to Cleveland. And a lot of Browns fans were hoping that Wentz would be wearing a Browns jersey, but now both franchises, they've got their quarterback of the future. Wentz in Philadelphia and Baker Mayfield, the so-called savior on Lake Erie in Cleveland. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Taking it in from 4 yards out as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. He'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Running with Howard. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard. His second touchdown of the night. And the Eagles have taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play on the catch and run, covering 30. Four yards.
And the Browns, first down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mayfield. And his throw here's incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones.
Rolling up, I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
First carry for Nick Chubb, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They run. Chubb. Powerful running. Still going. And he's got some space here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
What we got?
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 33.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
180.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Now Mayfield on 4th down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nigel Bradham. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive. Got
to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Go. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
To the end zone, touchdown, Cleveland. A 13-yard touchdown run as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run, making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle, no running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Joseph now to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Automatic first down.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Check 53, Mike. I'm trying to collect.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Here we go.
The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So, well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Kicking team.
And, Charles, this is one of those inexcusable special teams penalties, an out-of-bounds kickoff.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Sometimes errors occur because of situations.
Try the right side with Howard. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw, it's Wentz. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there at a first down again. They come out here in the I. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he will take this one in front of Eagle touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pads?
It means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They give it off here to the tight end. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
180. Check 53, Mike. They're not ready for this, man.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Mayfield over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And they'll get this down to the 10. And we're back now here in Cleveland. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. Mayfield on 1st down. The quick slant caught. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. A give. This is Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They come out here in the eye. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have taken the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now Wentz and the Eagles down 14-7, less than 90 seconds to go. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And that's caught inside the 30. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
Yes, it was a touchdown. And not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. They're going to try and run for it. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. It was an incredibly gutsy call, but they've taken the lead by a point late in the game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. And now the attention, it turns to the Browns. Trailing by 1 after the 2-point conversion. 23 seconds to go. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on 1st down. Mayfield to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. He was looking for Landry that time. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, they run with Howard. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for...
the young